The students pulling 12-hour study in a day are not smarter than you. They are not more disciplined than you. They were not born with some special gift that you were never given. The only difference between them and you is one thing, is a system. Because here is the truth that nobody is talking about. Studying longer has absolutely nothing to do with willpower. It has everything to do with structure. And once you build the right structure on your day, 12 hours will not feel like a punishment anymore. It will feel like the most natural, most productive rhythm you have ever experienced. So stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I am going to hand you that exact system, and it is going to completely change the way you study forever. Most students sit down in the morning, tell themselves they are going to study all day, and then wonder why they burn out by noon. That vague, shapeless intention is the problem. Your brain does not respond all day. It does not know what that means. It needs a rhythm. It needs to know when to push hard and when to breathe. So the very first shift you need to make is this: stop thinking about your day as one long stretch of studying and start breaking it into 4 separate sessions. Each session is 3 hours long. Morning, midday, afternoon, and night. 4 sessions, 3 hours each. 12 hours total. Clean, structured, and completely manageable. And inside each of those 3-hour sessions, you work in tight, focused cycles. 50 minutes of locked-in, distraction-free work followed by 10 minutes of complete rest. You repeat that cycle 4 times, and your 3 hours are done. The reason this works so well is simple. You are never staring at an impossible mountain. You are only ever climbing the next 50 minutes. That is all your brain has to handle at any given moment. And that one shift alone changes the entire experience of studying. Here is something your school almost certainly never taught you. Your brain runs on its own internal schedule, and it is running that schedule whether you pay attention to it or not. For most people, the sharpest, most powerful focus happens in the morning. That is when your memory is strongest, your thinking is clearest, and your ability to absorb difficult information is at its absolute peak. So that morning window is where you place your hardest work. The material that requires deep thinking, heavy memorization, complex problem solving, all of that goes in the morning when your brain is fully charged and ready to perform at its highest level. In the afternoon, when your energy naturally begins to settle, you shift to practice and repetition. Things your brain can move through, even when it is not running at full speed. And at night, your final session becomes about review. You revisit everything you covered throughout the day and let it solidify in your memory. When you match the right task to the right energy level, every hour you study carries more weight than it ever did before. The next piece of this system is one that most students never even think about, and it is one of the biggest hidden reasons people burn out before they ever reach their potential. Doing the same type of studying for hours on end is one of the fastest ways to shut your brain down completely. This is not a discipline problem. It is not a focus problem. It is simply how the brain works. It craves variety. It needs it to stay alert and engaged. So instead of reading from a textbook for 3 straight hours until your eyes go heavy and your mind drifts somewhere else entirely, you rotate your tasks deliberately. One block, you are solving practice problems. Next, you are working through flashcards. Then you shift to reading. Then you close the book and explain the concept out loud to yourself, as if you are the teacher standing in front of a room full of students. Every single time you switch tasks, your brain re-engages. The fatigue resets. What felt like a grind moments ago starts to feel like momentum again. And that momentum is what carries you all the way through to hour 12 without falling apart. But here is the part that ties everything together, and the part most people completely underestimate. None of this works if your environment is working against you. And for most students, it is. Be honest with yourself for a moment. If your phone is sitting on the desk next to you, your brain is already partially distracted, even if you have not touched it in over an hour. If your desk is covered in clutter, your thinking reflects that same clutter right back at you. Your environment is either working for you or against you. There is no middle ground. So you clear the desk. You keep only what you need for that specific session directly in front of you. The phone goes in another room, not face down, not silent, another room entirely. You use silence or soft background noise to block the outside world completely. And you place a visible timer in front of you, so your brain always knows exactly how much time is left before the next break. A clean, quiet, intentional space sends one powerful message to your brain: it is time to work. And your brain will respond to that signal every single time. And then there is the piece of this system that most people skip, which is precisely why they burn out. Your body is not separate from your study system. It is a core part of it. Studying 12 hours a day is not about endurance. It is about energy management. You sleep 7 to 8 hours every single night without exception, because a tired brain does not learn, it only pretends to. You eat light, balanced meals throughout the day, because a heavy lunch will slow you down faster than almost anything else. You drink water consistently, because even mild dehydration is enough to quietly destroy your concentration, long before you even realize it is happening. And during every break, you move your body. Get up, walk around, stretch, do a few push-ups. It sounds almost too simple to matter, but physical movement refreshes your brain more effectively than any amount of caffeine ever will. The moment you start treating your body as a fundamental part of the system, rather than something completely separate from it, the 12 hours become sustainable in a way they simply never were before. So here is exactly what a full 12-hour study day looks like in practice. You wake up at 7, do a quick workout, eat a light breakfast, and get your body and mind moving. From 8 to 11, you run your first session, your hardest material, your freshest brain, your maximum focus. 11 to 12 is lunch and genuine rest, away from the desk entirely. 12 to 3 is your second session, practice problems, structured active work, and deliberate effort. 3 to 4 is a break, a snack, a short walk outside to reset. 4 to 7 is your third session, lighter reading, review, and reinforcement of what you have already covered. 7 to 8 is dinner and real relaxation, no guilt attached. 8 to 11 is your fourth and final session, flashcards, active recall, and locking in everything you absorb throughout the day. At 11, the screens go dark, the phone stays off, and you go to sleep. 12 hours. For sessions. Full recovery built directly into the structure. Here is where you start. Do not try to execute all 12 hours tomorrow. Plan one 3-hour session. Use the 50-10 cycle. Clear your desk before you sit down. Put your phone in another room. Show up for that one session. Finish it completely. And feel what it is like to actually follow through. Then, add a second session. Then a third. Build this system one block at a time until the full 12 hours feel as natural and automatic as breathing. Because once you get there, once you experience what a truly structured, truly intentional study day feels like from start to finish, you will never approach learning the same way again. The students doing this are not extraordinary. They just figured out the system before you did. Now you have it. Go build something with it.